Hi Sois. So this video is on how to draft Victorian corsets, and I have gone ahead to draft my basic bodies already, and I believe you should also be able to draft yours. And if peradventure you don't have to go about this, how to draft your basic bodies, kindly let me know in the comment section so that I can release video on how to draft a basic block, not an very basic block. So if you're interested, kindly let me know in the comment section. Thank you. So let's go into the business of today, Victorian corset. So here is my basic bodies without me doing my waist shaping and all of that. The first thing that we'll be doing on this pattern is we are going to be shaping our back. So we are going to be shaping our back with 2.5 cm. 2.5 cm. And please, there was a particular video that I made explaining how you can read your tape in cm and in inches. Please do well to check out that video. I'll be going ahead to shape my back on my true waistline. This line that you're seeing here is my true waistline. I know if you're not using an elaborate pattern, you can as well just follow your normal waist to get this. So on my waistline, on my true waistline, I'll be going in by 2.5 cm, which I've marked here, and I'll go ahead to connect it to the neck, as you can see me do here, and I also connect it to my hip. Yes, so now that we've taken our back, let me shade it out so that we know that this isn't part of our pattern anymore. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to measure all that we have left on our waist. So from here to here, I'm having 9.5. I also go ahead to measure the front, my front waist. For the back, we have 9.5, right? So let me just start from 9.5 here and here. We are having 19.75. So what we have left on our waist is 19.75. What we have left is 19.75, and the actual waist of this person is 30 inch. It's 30 inch, and this is half of the back pattern. This is half of the front pattern. So we are going to be dividing our waist by 2, right? And we are going to be removing 19.75. So now let's do the deduction. 30 minus 19.75. What are we going to have left? We are going to have 10.25. So what we have left now is 10.25. The 10.25 that we have left on our waist, we will use it to snitch the side of our waist, and we are also going to use it to snitch the back of our Victorian corset. We all know that every corset have an opening at the back. So we are going to take the total of 2 inches away from the waistline, from the bust line, sorry. We are going to take away 2 inches away from the bust line, but first, we will first take away 1 inch. So we'll come to the bust right here. All you just need to do in this video, just follow me step by step, and you're going to get the same result. So here you're going to take in 1 inch. On the waistline, you're going to take in 1 inch. On the hip line also, you're going to take in 1 inch. So the next thing that you're going to do now is to connect the 1 inch together, the one that you have on your waist, to the one that you have on your bust line, to the one that we have on our hip line. So here we have it. So this part won't also be part of our pattern any longer. This won't be part of our pattern any longer. So the next thing we are going to do now is to create our eyelet channel. We are going to create our eyelet channel. So because we are going to pass in boning, and we are going to create space that the eyelet is going to be, what we are going to do is we are going to create space. We are going to create space for the boning, for the eyelet channel at the back. So all that we need to create the eyelet channel, we are going to need 0.5 inches. We are going to need 0.6 inches. And we are going to need another 0.5 inches. So this is the first 0.5 inches is where the boning is going to stay. The 0.6 inches is where the eyelet hole is going to stay. And the 0.5, the last 0.5 is where the other boning is going to stay to give your boning, your eyelet boning channel structure. So let's also take the same measurement on the waist. The 0.5, 0.6, and then 0.5. Also on the hip, we are going to do 0.5, 0.6, then 0.5. So the next thing is to connect these lines together. Okay. All you need to do is just follow me closely, and you are going to achieve the same end result. This particular one, because I don't want the video to be too long, this will be for the drafting of the Victorian corset alone. So I'm going to put up another video where we are going to do the sewing, the padding, everything that we are going to do so. After watching this, please kindly check out the sewing video. So now we have created our eyelet channel. This right here, what I was trying to tell you is that this is where our eyelet is going to stay, and this is the eyelet channel that I was talking about. I believe with this little sketch and circle that I drew in the middle, you can tell that this is an eyelet channel for a corset. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do right now, do you know the 19.5 that we took out of half of our waist measurement? Sorry, I think we made a mistake here. Yeah, so earlier when we measured our waist, we got 19.75. So now we are going to remove half of our waist. This person's waist that I'm working with here is 30. Half of the person's waist is going to be 15 inches, right? So we now have to remove what we have left on our pattern on the waist, which is 19.75. We are going to remove half of our waist, which is 15, away from it. So which means 19.75 minus 15, which will be giving us 4.75. Exactly. So now is this 4.75 that we use to shape the two sides of our corset, and we will also use it to shape the back. Okay, now let's use this 4.75 to shape the waist and also the back of our Victorian corset. So the next thing that we are going to do is, so it just depends on you, but I would advise that when you want to use what you have left to shape your Victorian corset, I would advise that you go in more on the side of your waist. When you go in more on the side of your waist, it will give you that fitted Victorian shape. So on the waist here, we are going to go in by 2 inch. Also on this other side, we are going to go in by 2 inches. So now that we've gone in by 2 inches, all that we are doing is we are going to create our waist shaping. We are going to connect it to the armhole, to the bust. We are going to shape it, this part, to the hip. Okay. Okay, so now this is what we have. Let's also do the same thing to the front pattern. But here, we are going to go down here by 4 cm. We are going to go down here by 4 cm. So from this 4 cm, we are going to connect the waist to the 4 cm. And we are also going to shape this part. Okay. Okay, so now this is what we have. You can actually tell right now that this is already looking like what we are drafting. The next thing that we'll be doing right now is to create our style line at the back. For this back, you can decide to, generate a whole lot of lines, but I won't advise that you do that, because when you do that, the space in between, like this is all that we have left, right? And we cannot create a line close to the waist. There must be space. We can't create a line close to our highlight channel also, because there has to be space. So we only have, let's say, from here to here. And just imagine that we now have to create multiple star line at the back. It means that we have to start having a lot of pieces that we have to start joining together. And during the course of sewing, we might just, lose some of these patterns, and it will require us to start drafting all over again. So to avoid all of those chaos, this is what I advise. This is what I do, right? So I'm going to divide from here to here into 2. So right here, we have 6. And all that I'm going to do is I'm going to rule a straight line connecting the waist to the bust and to the hip, like this. Earlier I told you that we'll be taking out 2 inch out from the bust line, but we've only used 1 inch here. So this is where we will need to use the other 1 inch that is left. So right here, we are going to do ½ inch on each side of our style line. So half inch here. We already used 2 inch to shape the side of our Victorian corset. We have 0.75 left. We're going to divide the 0.75 into 2, and that's what we'll be using on the waist. So 0.75, sorry, 0.75 divided by 2. We are going to be having 3.75. So we are going to be taking 3.75 away from the 2 side of our style line. So from here, we are taking 3.75. From here also, we'll be taking 3.75 right here. So here on the hip, you can decide to take 1 cm, or you can decide to take 0.5 inch. 5, anyone. you still achieve a very good result. So now we'll be connecting these lines together. Be connecting them together like this. Okay. So here I'll be using the 0.5 inch line. As you can see, that's what I'm using. So yeah, now we've taken out, let's call it a dart. Yeah. So we've taken out these darts at the back, right? We created our eyelet channel. Now, when we join these two together, it will be very easy for us to now, do our multiple boning caging. It will be so easy there. But if we decide to start cutting and cutting and cutting, I don't advise that at all. So right now, you can decide to leave your corset this way, right? Straight like this, and you can decide to like give it a very nice shape, right? It all depends on what you want. It all depends on what you want. So here, I'll just like give it a very nice curve. Not too deep curve, not a very deep curve, but just a very slight, just a slight curve, something like this. So yes, so now I know this is out of my pattern. This is my pattern. And also, you now have to decide how you want the down part of your corset to be. But before we get here, let us go to the front and finish up with the front. For this front pattern, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to throw our shoulder dart. And after throwing it, we will now have to take 150% because it's Victorian corset, right? Okay, so let's just throw the shoulder dart. Like I said earlier, please, if you don't know how to draft Naija braid, let me know so that I can drop a video on how to draft Naija braid. So if you can draft Naija braid, you will understand what I'm trying to do right now. You definitely understand what I'm trying to do right now. I just threw my shoulder dart, and the next thing, so now we now have a new shoulder. The next thing I'm going to do is we are going to take 150% for our Victorian corset. First, let us look at this person's shoulder. Let's look at the dart. Okay, the dart is 8. Our shoulder dart is 8. So all that we are going to do is 150% times 8. We have 12. Because it is Victorian corset, we are going to be using 150%. And our shoulder dart is 8 cm. So all that we will do is 150% times our shoulder dart, which is 8 cm. That's going to be giving us 12. So the next thing that we are going to be doing is we are going to be sharing 12 cm on the shoulder to give us our Victorian corset tightening. Right here. And kindly note that whenever you want to share, this armhole part is going to take a larger share of whatever that you're sharing, a larger figure of whatever that you're sharing. If you're sharing 10, this can take 7, while this can just take 3. So now that we are sharing 12, I'm going to be sharing 9 here, and I'm going to be sharing 3 there. From here to here, 9 cm, right? From here to here, I'll just do 3, which is going to give us 12 cm. All that we are doing is we are going to be connecting it back to our shoulder dart apex, which is this point. This is our apex, our dart apex. Okay, now we've taken our 150%. Let us take our shoulder to under bust measurement. So this person's shoulder to under bust, let me see. This person's shoulder to under bust is 37, right? This person's shoulder to under bust is 37. It's 37 cm. So from point 0, we are going to go down to 37, right? From your margin line here, you have to mark 37. That's our shoulder to our under bust, 37. And the next thing that we are doing, is we are going to connect the line, our under bust line. Now we are going to determine our round under bust, right? Our round under bust. This person's round under bust is 80 cm. 80 cm. So now our round under bust divided by 4. We are going to divide our round under bust by 4. So 80 cm divided by 4 is going to be giving us 20 cm, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to measure 20 cm, which is our round under bust divided by 4. We are going to create a mark here, right? This is our actual round under bust. So the excess on the under bust, what do we have here? We have 3.3 cm, right? 3.3 cm. So our 3.3 cm is what we will be taking as our front, our dart in front for our Victorian corset. So here's how it is. We are going to rule this line straight down. We are going to rule it straight down for an accurate measurement. Let me just see what you have from here to here. 9.8. So we'll just do the same thing here, 9.8. We are going to rule a straight line. Okay, before I forget, do you know all those corsets that you see online that, let me just do something. You know those corsets that you see online, right? Let me see. Like this. Okay, that it go like this, they come like this, like this, like this, like this. Right? If you want to achieve something like this, then your line here is not going to be straight. If you want it straight, this is how you're just going to do it. And the next thing you're going to do is the excess that we have here, 3.3. We are going to divide it by 2, and we're going to share it on this line, and we're going to rule it down. That is all. But if you want to achieve this slanted boning casing, then we are going to clean this line. The next thing we are going to do to achieve this curve star line for corset. Okay, from here on the waistline, right? On the waistline, we are going to take in 1 cm. So on the waistline, we are taking in 1 cm. We're also going to be taking in 1 cm on the hip line. And we are just going to connect it like this. Then connect it back to our under bust. We're connecting it back to our under bust this way. So this is also out of our pattern. So now, if we want to create our slanted lines, what we got here, what we have left here is 3.3 cm. So from this 1 cm that we mark, that is not part of our pattern any longer. We are going to go in by 1 inch. From the 1 inch is now where we are now going to mark. We are now going to mark our 1.65. 1.65 here, right? So we are going to connect this to this, which means we are connecting this to this. We are connecting this to this. Okay, then we are taking our 1.65 by the two sides, 1.65. Right, we are going to connect it from our apex down here, from our apex down here. Let me try and make this line thick so that you all won't get confused because of these lengthy lines and these ways that I've refused to do its job. Okay, so now we connect it back. We are going to mark 1.65 here. Connect it, and yeah, now we have our front dart. So when we do it this way, you see now there's enough space. Even if we should pass a boning, when we close it, we pass a boning and we pass another boning in front, it won't overlap. There's gap, there's enough space for it. Yeah, so the next thing that we are going to do now, we are now going to determine how we want our neckline to be. So from here, how high, you are just going to determine how high you want it to be. For a small size, you can use 8, 9, 10. For people that are on the bigger size, you can use 10, 11, 12. It just depends on the style that you're working with and how high you want your neckline to be. Right, so here I'll be working with 9. I'll also mark 9 here. So mark 9 here, 9 here. So yes, now it's time to, I want to divide this into 2. Okay, this is how deep I want my neckline to be. So here we go. I don't want it too deep. I want it to be in between my bust line and my chest line. That's okay for me. And right here, let me just take it like this. I want to take it straight. I don't want it to go into my hammer. I want to take it straight. So this is how I want my neckline to be. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to curve my bust area. Give it a very nice curve. Give it a very, very nice curve. So here, just trying to give it a very nice curve, right? So here we have, okay, let me do it this way. So here we have like 1.6, 1.7 cm. So it's fine. The difference from here to here must not be more than 2.5 cm. So we're on the safe side. So the only thing is that when we cut it, I'll also take you guys through the process of cutting and all of that. After cutting, after joining this part and this part, right, we can now start adding our boning channels. We can now start adding our boning channels instead of creating a lot of boning channels on the pattern. That'll be confusing, right? So here, I hope you understand it to this point. So yeah, you can, for this back, you can decide to also clean it, and the only thing that you're just going to do is you're just going to create a slant line. After creating a slant line, you take out all the measurements that we took from this on it, but I don't think I will be doing any of that. The back can come straight while the front can have that fitted slanted boning channel. The next thing that we are doing now is to get the shape, the hemming shape of our corset, and we are done. So we're almost done. So right now it just depends on how you want the shape of your corset to be, right? It depends on you. It depends on what you want. If you want a very nice cute shape, you can add it whichever way you want it. So yeah, let's give our corset some shape. Okay, the only thing I did was to just add a little bit of structure to the side of my Victorian corset. You have to determine how low you want it, how low you want your Victorian corset, and yep, you can go with any design of choice. You can decide to do it anyhow you want. Just make sure you create a very nice shape. So what we'll be doing next is we'll measure. So that we need to be accurate. We don't want any mistake at all. So here we have 13.3. Right here we are also going to mark 13.3. So yeah, for the other side, so we have 11.6. We're also going to mark 11.6 at the back. So we're on point. The next thing that we're going to do is also to get the right shape. Okay. The same thing we did in front. We'll take our measurements. This is 10.6. We're also going to take the same thing here. And this is what we have. So yes, this is what we have for the back and this is what we have for the front. You can actually decide to take it high. It just depends on you. Whatever you want, you can take it high, you can take it low, you can take it. That depends on you and the style that you're going for. So now we've come to the end of drafting Victorian corset. If you want to see how I make and sew it, Can you let me know in the comment section? Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment under this video. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what you want me to do more, what you want me to do next, and just give me your feedback on this particular video. Thank you.